If you are thinking about starting your own service business, what are you going to sell? Well, most people think about selling something that they themselves are interested in. The real question though is, does that solve the problem for anyone? And it's a very easy temptation to fall into, to try to make what we're interested in into something that solves a problem for somebody. And we will concoct it in any way that we can just so that we can justify selling that thing. But here's the problem, is that it puts you right on the struggle bus to success. Welcome back to the Security Bros. I'm Ken, this is James. Look, none of us want to struggle more than we have to, but at the same time, you don't want to struggle any more than you have to.
That's true. Really dial that home.
None of us want to struggle more than we have to. And there are certain benefits to doing things that you like and things that you're good at, because it can take a while to succeed. And having something that keeps you motivated before the money shows up isn't a bad thing. That said, if we spend all of our time doing things that we like instead of things that solve customers' problems, then the distance between us and success could be a lot longer than we had planned.
To solve a problem, you have to know what the problem is. You have to identify it. For our customers, managing building access for like multi-tenant buildings is a hassle.
Total hassle.
So we provide services to make that as simple as possible. Number two is sorting through the security footage. If there's like an incident or something outside of their building, sorting through the security footage is a hassle. It takes time to find out what happened, download the footage, blah, 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 blah. We make it very simple. Buying security services from almost any company in the area is kind of a pain. It's very simple to do it with our company. So those are three examples, but in all of those cases, we're solving a problem and making our customer's life simpler.
That's a good point. And look, one of the great things about those three problems that you just mentioned with simplicity, we don't need to convince customers that those are problems. They already know those are problems.
Right.
We don't need to convince them of anything. When we provide our service, they can automatically see how these things solve that problem, which makes it very, very easy to sell.
That's exactly the point. It's something they can see, they can feel, because their life just got easier. And it's almost not a sell if you can show them what it's like on your side. Well, if that solves the problem, it's like, take my money.
Right. It's not that hard of a sale, because the kind of clients that we would work with are already successful, which means they've already worked with other contractors. They've probably already worked with other businesses like ours, and they know the issues that they run into with pulling footage. And what were the other two? Just the working with the company itself.
Yeah, like managing their building access, pulling their footage, and just buying stuff.
They already know how difficult all that stuff can be, how much of a pain it can be, how time consuming it can be, and just the frustration. It's not like I have to explain that to anybody, even people that haven't worked with us before, but taking all that off the sales team, where this isn't a hard sell. It's very obvious. It's like trying to sell somebody that fell overboard, trying to sell them on like a flotation device. You don't have to. You throw the flotation device down there, they automatically can see, okay, that floats, I need it. Yeah. It's like that easy of a sale.
They have a problem, they're sinking, and now they're not sinking.
If I have to spend time convincing somebody that they have a problem, good Lord, like that whole sale is going to feel like a struggle every time.
That's the entire thing that gave me an idea to have this conversation. Is I've seen that a lot of times where these people are just banging their head, these sales guys are banging their head into a brick wall, trying to sell a problem that the customer doesn't have. And it's like, you're working against yourself. If what you're selling actually solves your customer's problem, then you don't have to beat your head into a brick wall trying to prove that they have the problem that you're trying to create to sell your product to solve. Anyone doing service work, I'm sure, is familiar with working with suppliers and stuff like that. You know, suppliers give you marketing material to help you, they want to help you sell to your customers, because that means more of their stuff gets sold, blah, blah, sold. They try to educate you on how to sell these problems that you're going to solve to your customer sometimes. Create this problem for your customer and then sell them this solution.
But if you have to convince somebody that they have a problem and they weren't aware of it, that's doing twice the work. Because first you have to convince them of the problem, then you have to convince them of the solution, and then you got to convince them that you're the one for the solution. And one of the problems with that, in terms of sales, is that if a customer didn't know they had the problem, and let's say you actually convinced them that they have the problem, now they believe they have the problem, and then you convince them on the type of solution for that problem, now they're thinking, well, maybe I should look at multiple companies that do this. And then what can very easily happen is they'll end up hiring another company. So you end up doing the work to make somebody else have a sale.
Don't overcomplicate your service. Try to make it as simple as possible for your customer. I feel like some people have the need to maybe give themselves validation, accreditation, sound smarter, whatever. They try to get all complicated with it, and maybe it makes them feel better. Try to simplify it. It doesn't make you any more dumb, and it helps the customer understand. If the service you offer, this is the flip side, if the service you offer is something simple, don't complicate it to make it sound more special. Just, keep it simple.
The simplicity part is to your advantage. You are worth more if you can simplify their life.
Right.
People will pay more money for something that will keep things simple.
Ken is more on the dealing with customers, business side. I deal more with the blue collar side of the business. We'll say I'm not typically schmoozing customers, but when I have had experiences where I needed to explain some things to customers over the years, I cannot tell you how many times I just saw customers' face glass over because I think about and typically relate things in more of like the tech way, or,
Right.
That's normally where my headspace is at. So it's been a skill I have worked on over the years to try not to complicate something at all. Just make it as simple as possible for the customer, because I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to explain something to somebody and you just see the glazing of the face of like, too much. Make it simple
Right.
so I can understand. And the other thing is, I like to say, be a ninja. If you're solving your customer's problem, don't make a big deal about it. Just be like, oh yeah, there's another day. This is what we do.
Short synopsis here is don't solve for problems that don't exist, because it makes things more difficult for you in terms of sales and making money. Okay. Secondly, keep it real simple.
Keep it simple.
Because people buy simple, and you will seem way smarter by taking something, especially something that's complicated, and presenting it in the most simple fashion. It takes more intelligence and it takes more experience to be able to take a complicated thing and present it as something simple. Any topic can be presented in a simple form, and being able to explain something in the form at which makes sense to the person that you're talking to, which with us, most of the time, the people that we're working with are not tech people. Definitely not security tech people.
Yeah.
So explaining it in its simplest form is the best way. And then lastly, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it so we know, and share it so your friends know.
Bye.